Good evening, one and all. Good evening, one and all. We welcome you to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2022. On occasion of World Environment Month 2022, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Art, Sciences and Well-being. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue to today's session. Today, we are commemorating two events. One is United Nations Public Service Day celebration, and other is International Widows Day celebration, commemoration. The theme for the United Nations Public Service Day for 2022 is Building Back Better from COVID-19, Enhancing Innovative Partnerships to Meet the Sustainable Development Goals. And the theme for International Widows Day is Invisible Women and Invisible Problems. So let's first look at the United Nations Public Service Day briefly. As quoted by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, as we mark this important day, let us celebrate not only the work of public servants worldwide, but their commitment to working in partnership to build a better future for all the people. So building back from COVID-19, enhancing innovative partnerships to meet the Sustainable Development Goal is a theme set for today's United Nations Public Service Day. And taking its lead from 2022 theme of United Nations highest level political forum, in short HLPF, the main body for reviewing implementation of 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda, the 2022 UN Public Service Day commemoration celebrated this year on 22nd June, that is today, will focus on the role of public institutions and public servants in building back better from COVID-19 as they work to meet the 2030 deadline for implementing the Sustainable Development Goals. So if we look at the origin of United Nations Public Service Day, on December 2002, the General Assembly designated 23 June as Public Service Day by adopting Resolution 57 by 277. So UN Public Service Day celebrates the value and virtue of public service to the community, highlights the contribution of public service in development process, recognizes the work of public servants, and encourages young people to pursue careers in the public sector. So United Nations, to bolster recognition of the day and the value to the public service, it established United Public Service Awards, that is UNPSA for short, program in 2003, which was reviewed in 2016 to align with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The United Nations Public Service Awards aims to promote and reward innovation and excellence in public service by recognizing the creative achievements and contributions of public institutions that lead to a more effective and responsive public administration in countries worldwide in support of sustainable development. Each year, UNDSA organizes the forum with the host country, using the event to host capacity development workshops, the UN Public Service Award ceremony, and a ministerial roundtable, drawing together roughly 800 to 1,000 participants. The forum is a space for world leaders, ministers, and other senior decision makers to debate emerging issues and trends, discuss good practices, strategies, accelerated actions, and innovative approaches for effective service delivery and transforming institutions. So how these public institutions are contributing for the sustainable development goals and how they can contribute and promote sustainable development goals by being effective, accountable, and inclusive institution approach are essential to achieve the sustainable development goals. This is recognized by Sustainable Development Goal 16 and 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The agenda also recognizes that governments have the primary responsibility for implementing the Sustainable Development Goals and ensuring follow-up and review over the coming 15 years at the national, regional, and global levels. One of the first steps government take to implement the agenda is often to shape the institutional arrangements for steering the implementation of the SDGs and reviewing progress. So public administration is the cornerstone of governments, as its work plays an essential and critical role in improving people's lives. So reinventing public administration is a positive and necessary way forward. Without public administration, modernization, and transformation to adapt to today's needs, realizing a better future for all will be impossible. So where capable administrations are lacking, governments are incapacitated, and where governments are incapacitated, sustainable development falls short. So with this introduction, we take forward this day. As public administration plays vital role in managing the public institutions that help us or building back better from COVID-19, enhancing through innovative partnerships for meeting sustainable development goals. As we seen, COVID-19 crisis has brought new needs for digital government services and more demand on existing services. A review of the national portals of the 193 United Nations member states showed that by 25th March 2020, 57%, that is 110 countries, have put in place some kind of information on COVID-19, while around 43%, that is 83 countries, that is close to 167 countries, have included information and guidance about COVID-19 in their portals. And even the World Public Sector Report has been published by the Division for Public Institutions and Digital Government of UNDISA since 2001. The 2021 edition will focus on national institutional arrangements of the implementation of 2030 agenda and their effectiveness to assess some of the strengths and weaknesses of these arrangements in relation to the performance of key functions of the policy process, for example, monitoring and evaluation. The report will focus on the time dimension of the institutional changes, examining how governments have tried different institutional responses and adjusted their institutional systems to better accommodate the requirements of 2030 agenda since 2015. So with this, on this occasion, let's honor those women and men around the world who proudly dedicate their ideas, innovations, and energies in serving their communities and humankind. As this theme reminds us, public servants are increasingly working shoulder to shoulder with a range of local and global partners to drive recovery and sustainable development in their communities. From teaming up with the private sector on technological solutions to enhance public service delivery, to joining forces with civil society groups to better reflect a variety of voices across public policies, programs, and community responses, partnerships are critical to designing and delivering inclusive services. So let us celebrate not only the work of public servants worldwide, but their commitment to working in partnership to build a better future for all people. And the next commemoration for the day is International Widows Day with the theme Invisible Women, Invisible Problems. There are estimated 258 million widows around the world, and nearly 1 in 10 1 in 10 live in extreme poverty. In some parts of Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, for instance, it is reported that around 50% of women are widows. And widows are coerced into participating in harmful, degrading, and even life-threatening traditional practices as part of burial and mourning rites in some parts of the world. As we can see, the theme rightly portrays the present a situation of the widows across the world. Themes set as invisible women and invisible problems. For many women around the world, the devastating loss of partner is magnified by a long-term fight for their basic rights and dignity. Despite the fact that there are more than 258 million widows around the world, widows have historically been left unseen, unsupported, and unmeasured in our societies. So today, as armed conflicts, displacement, and migration, and the COVID 19 pandemic leave tens of thousands of women newly widowed and many others whose partners are missing or disappear, the unique experience and needs of the widows must be brought to the forefront with their voices leading the way. Experiencing experiences from the past shows that widows are often denied inheritance rights, have their property grabbed after the death of a partner, and can face extreme stigma and discrimination as a perceived carriers of a spouse, which can lead to destitution for older women. In the context of lockdowns and economic closures, widows may not have access to bank accounts and pensions to pay for health care, even if they too become too ill or to support themselves and their children. So, with lone mother families or a single parent family and single older women already particularly vulnerable to poverty, this is an area that needs urgent attention. And we see worldwide women are much less likely to have access to old age pensions than men. So, the death of the spouse can lead to destitution for older women. On this International Widows Day, let's look at some of the issues affecting the widows around the world and what must be done to safeguard and advance their rights. When we look at the statistics, the major factors or the problems for the widows or the challenges that are faced by the widows in developing countries are poverty, violence, health, conflict-related situations. So what can be done towards progress for widows? The United Nations observes 23rd June as we are commemorating today International Widows Day as per resolution 65 by 189 since 2011 to draw attention to voices and experiences of widows and to galvanize the unique support that they need. So this day is an opportunity for action towards achieving full rights and recognition for widows. This includes providing them with information on access to fair share of their inheritance, land, and productive resources, pensions, and social protection schemes that are not based on marital status alone, decent work and equal pay, and education and training opportunities. Empowering widows to support themselves and their families also means addressing social stigma that create exclusion and discriminatory or harmful practices. Furthermore, government should take action to uphold their commitments to ensure the rights of widows as enshrined in the international law, including the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women and the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Even when the national laws exist to protect the rights of widows, weakness in the judicial systems of many states compromise how widows' rights are defended in practice and should be addressed. Lack of awareness and discrimination by judicial officials can cause widows to avoid turning to the justice system to seek reparations. These programs and policies for ending violence against widows and their children, poverty alleviation, education, and other support to the widows of all ages also need to be undertaken, including in the context of action plans to accelerate achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. In post-conflict situations, Widows should be brought in to participate fully in peace building and reconciliation process to ensure that they contribute to the sustainable peace and security. And in the context of COVID-19, widows must not be left out of work to build back better. Let us ensure that our recovery prioritizes their unique needs and supports to the societies to be more inclusive, resilient, and equality for all. So, as widows move through their own experiences of grief, loss, or trauma after the death of the spouse, they may also face economic insecurity, discrimination, stigmatization, and harmful traditional practices on basis of their marital status. Now, this is very much related to the Gender Equality Sustainable Development Goal 5. The effects of COVID-19 pandemic reverse the limited process that has been made on the gender equality and women's rights. The coronavirus outbreak exacerbated existing inequalities for women and girls across every sphere, from health to the economy to the security and social protection. So let's do not forget, we have a commitment to goal 5 for 2030, which is gender equality. As we've seen, for many women around the world, the devastating loss of partner is magnified by a long-term fight for their basic rights and dignity. Despite the fact there are more than 258 million widows around the world, widows have historically been left unseen, unsupported, and unmeasured in our societies today, as armed conflicts, displacement, and migration and COVID-19 pandemic leaves tens and thousands of women newly widowed and many others whose partners are missing or disappeared. The unique experiences and needs of widows must be brought to the forefront with their voices leading the way. So let's look at some of the issues affecting widows around the world and what must be done to safeguard and advance their rights. So as we seen, as we already told, widows have their own experiences of grief, loss, or trauma after the death of spouse. They may also experience economic insecurity, discrimination, stigmatization, and harmful traditional practices on the basis of their marital status. In many countries, widows do not have equal inheritance right. They may be stripped of their land, evicted from their home, and even separated from their children. They may be denied access to inheritance, bank accounts, and credit, which have significant financial impacts for them, their children, and future generations. It is estimated that nearly 1 in 10 widows worldwide live in extreme poverty. Women are also much less likely to have access to pensions than men, so the death of the spouse can lead to destitution of women for older ages. On the other hand, child widows, girls given into marriage before 18 years old and whose husband died, experience multiple rights violations and face lifelong impacts from premature marriage and widowhood. At least 1.36 million of the approximately 258 million widows globally are child widows, but the true number is likely higher due to underreporting. In addition to facing economic insecurity, widows may be subject to stereotypes, prejudices, and harmful traditional practices with severe consequences. They may face restrictions on their dress, diet, and mobility for the years after the death of the partner. In some contexts, widows may be perceived as carriers of disease and forced out of social structures entirely or subjected to ritual cleansing practices involved in forced sex or bodily scarring that have life-threatening health consequences. Sometimes widows are forcibly passed on or inherited by a new designated partner, such as brother or other relative of her deceased spouse, denying her rights of, to safety, bodily autonomy, justice, and dignity in life after loss. And when a woman's value is contingent on having a spouse, womanhood can force women out of familial and social structures, leaving them particularly vulnerable to the poverty, isolation, and also violence. These challenges may be compounded by struggles that widows face on account of other intersecting identities such as Black, Indigenous women, members of LGBTQI communities, women affected by conflict, women with disabilities, women of young and older ages, women living in poverty or rural areas, and other marginalized identities. So, how we can ensure that global movements and advocacies include women's perspectives? So, women's voices and experiences must be centered in the movements and policies that impact their lives. From local campaigns to international action, it is imperative that widows speak to and make decisions about their own situations and needs. To fill this gap, the organizations that work to ensure all widows are protected and protected from discrimination and violence can enjoy their full rights have to advocate and fight for the rights of widows. And in the context of COVID-19 pandemic, tens of thousands of women have been widowed by the virus and may be grieving while cut off from their usual socio-economic and family supports. As nations continue to fight the virus on the front lines or begin recovery efforts, widows must not be left out of economic stimulus and social assistance programs or as decision makers and beneficiaries of plans to build back better. Now, how do we safeguard and advance the rights of widows worldwide? To safeguard and advance widows' rights, there may be some actions that governments, policymakers, or each one of us can take. Adopt social and economic reforms to improve widows' access to inheritance, land, pensions, and other societal social protections. Ensure that fiscal policies, economic relief measures for COVID-19 includes widows and discriminatory laws and patriarchal systems that have long disadvantaged women, and women cannot inherit equally as men in 36 countries, cannot be heads of households or families in 31 countries, and cannot have a job or pursue a profession in 17 countries. Such discriminatory laws, which rob widows of poverty, shelter, income, social benefits, and opportunity, must be struck down to advance women's rights worldwide and empower widows to support themselves and their families and live with dignity by ensuring access to education and training opportunities, decent work, and equal pay, and by reversing social stigmas that exclude discrimination or lead to harmful and violent practices against widows, and collect gender data, better quality demographic information broken down by age, gender to ensure that widows are counted and supported now and even in future. The United Nations suggests a minimum of 5 marital status categories when collecting census data: widowed and not remarried, also included. Supporting international efforts and advocacy to uphold and expand the rights of the widows as enshrined in the international laws and conventions. On International Women's Day, let's learn and share stories, voices, and experiences of widows and support their rights. So with these few initiatives and suggestions, let's move on to today's speakers who will be sharing their experiences working with widows. If you have any queries on this introduction, you can put it in chat box before we move on to next speaker. I would be happy to answer. Otherwise, we shall take it at the end of all the sessions. Okay, if there are no queries, then we shall move on to our speaker for the day. Next speaker for the day. We have with us Mrs. Vasanta Talyarama Rao, probation officer retired, having over 4 decades of experience working with women and children in various settings and situations. She has vast experience working directly and indirectly and supporting various departments as part of initiatives for women and children. So we invite you, ma'am, for your session on widows' issues and welfare. You can unmute yourself, ma'am, and you can start your video. Vasanta, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You are audible, ma'am. You can start your.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. It's my good privilege to be with all, and it's one of the best field which I have worked with the widows and with their problems and all throughout my 4 decades of service. Really, comments are always there in my eyeballs. Really, the faces which have come to me and where I help them a lot is very much present with me always. Sir, it is audible.
Yes, ma'am. Please continue. You got muted, ma'am.
Some problem is, I don't know what is the problem.
Yeah,
any disturbance, you please tell me, sir.
Yeah, it's audible now, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, sir. So it is subject given to me today is widows issues and welfare. While thinking of issues, the word itself is a issue. They have so many problems in their life. Widow never she expected that, or never she requested, or she never wanted to be a widow at any time. But it's her fate, or it is her sin, what it is to be called, I don't know. But people say it is her sin. No, I don't feel it is her sin. It is her bad luck. She will get lost of her spouse and beautiful life, and such a wonderful life what she was having, everything she have to come out of all the life, and suddenly it will be an accidental plan for her. But obviously she should face all the things, whatever the things it will come. Oh, widow, how the problems are. It is really unbelievable. They are treated as untouchables in this society. They are not good to enter any good events, good functions, even for the puja of the god. Is there any way anybody has mentioned that widow should not enter for any place? Is it she is not the born widow? She is not her sin. She is not the one has requested God to give this opportunity. Why this? In India, we have 5 crores of widows. In some of the countries, they don't have 5 crores of population itself. But as we have thick population of country, we have 5 crores of widows, and maybe that not even we have touched 0.2% of widows. Though we speak a lot, we work a lot, we are doing so much, and we ourselves are happy that I have done something for widows. I have served. I personally say that I have worked for so many widows, and I have done widow pension to be in their hand. I am satisfied with my work. But by looking into the graph, our Indian widows link, it is not at all satisfactory. Many of the widows are not given any opportunity at all. Coming to the other issues, widows really they have so many. We should promote them, and we should give them encouragement. We should say that you are encouraged. You are the one person, you are the able, and you are a confident lady in this living. You should be the model for your children. You should be model for this society. We should put up them all the courageous word, and should we make them to come on dayas, we should make them to come and participate in all the events of the day, of the year, of the prolonged life of this, and we should promote all the issues, whatever she has, but we should have a deep discussion of her issues. The issues are different from one widow to other widow is different. The family is different. Putting into the new family is different. Sometimes by all the arrangements she will be married to a man. Love marriages are there, post marriages there, all the arranged marriages there, but widowship is common for everyone. A lover, she will also lose her spouse, and arranged marriage case also it happens. But nobody is expected that she should be a widow. So widow always she feels soon after the demise, she feels I am an orphan. We should first give the courage to her to say that you are not an orphan. You are one among this crore of people in this India. You are the one personality. You are the only one in this world. You can face many things, and you will be the model for all the widows. You have so many hidden power in you. So you should come out of all your power. Let us see what are the abilities we have. What are the things you can do? What are the help I can do for you and all. Coming to the other issues, major issue is the harassment for the widows. The harassment starts in her own family. Soon after the demise of her husband, the own in-laws, the father-in-law, the co-brothers, the co other brother-in-laws of the house, and the neighbors if she is a working woman, colleagues, and even the society tries to give her all the harassment. It may be physical harassment, psychological harassment. Many cases, sexual harassment is also there from the own families also, or being social workers, being the NGOs. Today, many NGOs are fighting for that. They are giving all the encouragement to the widow, and they are helping them, and they are bringing them out of the family, and they are making them to stand on their own legs. And while getting all these problems from the family, the physical problems, abusing the lady, giving lot of torture, giving all the work on her, especially in-laws, irrespective of gents, ladies also will give all the harassment. They make her as a maid of the servant. They make her as a useless lady of the house. And not even they will feed the lady enough in the family. And no support for her. And if she has the children already, the children also the abused by the family member. And if they go out of the house, the neighbor starts abusing. When they know there is no support inside the family, so they will make use of that, and they also start abusing the lady and children also. Sometimes they start sending this lady, if she is not educated, for other works, and also they send their children also for work. Sending children to the job is very, very hazardous. It's not at all suitable for them. The widow means it is not her mistake. It is all happened. What happened is happened. They must think, as I lost my son, she should not do anything. Her son is my son, my grandson is my son. She is my daughter, like that. If the society thinks all these issues will never come. So the thing is that never they should send the children to the job. Main issue for the lady, main problem for this widow lady is single parent relationship with the family member. Neither, first of all, this is India. While speaking on, it is we say that only the gents can make decision. Ladies are not powerful to make decision. Nowadays, the power is in change, and many families has come out with mother making decision. But unfortunately, many of the widows' families, they have no power of decision making. So whatever the in-laws they say, they should follow that. So they will be abused in all the way. So her issues, major problem for single parent problem. Neither she can take any decision about their children. The children who are going to the good schools, they will stop that education, and they will not even send to the normal school, or sometimes they'll shift from good school to the normal government school. And they will not provide both the mother and children enough nutritious food, enough encouragement, no entertainment for them. They never think they are also the human beings of the family. So they will treat the eldest son or whoever the other person living with the both parents. Those children will be treated well, and these children will be treated ill-treated. Means what could be the psychological status of mother and children? Neither she can not step out of the house, nor she can stay with the family. The problems, the issues inside the family will kill her as well as the children. The stoppage of schooling for the children will lead to so many psychological disturbance for the children. Suddenly they start keeping quiet, or they start hating first whom they hate. They hate their mother itself, because mother is not giving anything to us. Mother is not fighting for us. So they think mother itself is useful. Then they start hating others' family members. Slowly they start cheating. Slowly they start doing non illegal activities, illegal work in the family itself. Slowly they start doing bad things at home. So why? This is all because of the issues has started on this widow. It is not anybody's interest, or Neither the son wanted to die at an early age, but the widow has to face all these problems. So the single parenthood is very difficult. And if they are in a unique family, in a joint family, these are the above issues will come. Nowadays, soon after the marriage, they step out. They don't want the in-laws, they don't want the parents. They feel they are the free birds and they are everything in this world until and unless they have enough money, time, courage, energy, important, their financial status is so high, they enjoy everything. Suddenly, the demise takes place. Then, who will help that family? Father is no more. The lady is a widower, and children are there in her family. Nobody will come to help her. The above problems will never arise as in her family. But single parenthood is so difficult. Nowadays, any girl, if you search for a marriage, though she will be very little literate, she want a high family. She expect everything high, not a high tea, life itself to be high. Bad luck, she is not that intelligent. She don't know how to face the world, how to face the society. Suddenly the demise takes place. The husband is no more. She will stand alone in her family. It will be like that she is standing in a forest. All the grass are in and around her, walking like that. But who will come to help her? Never she respected in-laws, never she cooperated with the co-brothers, co-sisters, no one. Because those days were high days for them. Their real problem starts with the single parent problem of that lady. She don't know neither much educated, nor don't have the knowledge of the society, how to move in this society. All these problem arises. Then, without in-laws, the physical challenge, psychological challenges, sexual harassment from the society, the same society which was giving all the happiness to her, they are only starting giving all this trouble to her. So, again, in such cases, she should take a proper guidance from the elder, or she should contact a good NGO or good social workers, or if anybody knows all these things, they should go and help them. At any case, any worst case, children should not stop their education. One should see that their education first to be continued. So if she's at least have little bit support with the parent, in-laws and others, they can also help them and protect her in her life for the further development. Coming to the her other issues like maintenance of the family, so because of their wellness, they have done everything, but she don't know how to drive a car, how to pay an electricity bill for that matter. She don't know what are the things to be taken place in a family, and she don't know how to approach the office. What are the benefits she will get from office? What could be done from herself from the thing? And where actually husband is working. So if she's half literate, these are the problem rises. If she's well literated, good, then she has to start her own digging because no helpers, neither from mother side nor from in-law side. So she should struggle herself and she should see the things about husband, his savings or his other problems, liabilities, whatever it comes. If too many liabilities are there, it's very difficult to that widow to face all the things and to clear it off itself is a major issue for us. So when doing all these things, she should be guided with someone. So either the society or a good NGO or a good social worker should go and help her. Obviously, she is not ready because she never ready to take any help or to respect anyone or to give any equality to others and all. In such cases, her arrogancy will give more trouble to her. It will give more trouble to children. In certain cases, they will have no issues at all, no children. So she will be alone. It is another difficult phase. So she has to face lot of problem in this society. At least children are there, they are the weapons like for her. The society will feel, in her home there are three children. At least one child is a protector for the lady. When there are no children, she is all alone in the battlefield. So it's very difficult to that lady to face this society and her situation, and she should see the things, how to take care of the things is very, very difficult. While coming to the other issues, the neighborhood and all other issues, it's very difficult for that lady to face the problem. But as such, when we look into these things, at least if we'll have, she herself has parents. Parents always have their tough corner. Luckily, their parents comes and stands for her, though she is good or bad, whatever. They will do all the requirements. First of all, they should see what is the cause of the death of a husband of that girl. Is it accidental death, or it's a murder, or it is a benign death case, or any sudden demise is there, or whatever the health issues were there, everything to be noted, and they should see according to that, according to all these above issues, above problems, they should think, and they should go and do the necessity work. If a lady is very innocent, if she don't have anybody, nobody is there to help, even parents are no more. In such cases, there are free law forum for ladies, uh, especially for widows, are there in each talaka, in each district, in each city, and they should make use of it. At least we should refer such widows to such forums. There she need not pay any fees to them also. They will give all the advice. They will see what are the things can be done for her. This is the one major help for her the government has done. This is purely free forum. The law forum is free. She need not pay anything for that forum. They will stand for her and they will take care of all the things. If coming to the property, if whatever the things the husband has earned, it's already there. If they are sound enough, it's okay. If they are in the joint family, then this law forum will help them to get all the benefits from the family if she is alone or with her children also. So, what are the eligibilities are there for a widow? Let us think it over. So, with all these issues, if with the children, some problems are there. Without children, some of the problems are there. Whatever the issues, whatever unique problems are there for each widow, it can be solved with the help of all these law forum or from the NGOs or from a good social worker. It can be solved. And at the same time, if she has any properties from her mother's side also, she is also eligible to get those properties. But if the husband is there in the joint family, she cannot claim 50% of property to her, because joint family means it goes equal shares to everybody. But she will get, but she will not get 50%. Many of the widows, they claim for 50%. So totally they will be a failure in that case. Instead of 50%, whatever the benefit I can get from my family, for that benefit, if she applies, she will get all the benefits, both from in-law side as well as from mother side. Mother side, now it is very clear that both male children as well as the female girls, they will get equal share. How many children are there? They will have all the equality, right? Only after their parents are no more. So she has all the power. If they do the will before their death itself, then they themselves will do everything for their daughter also. So coming to this widow, she cannot claim 50% of husband's property in a joint family. But they are separate living. They are already unique family. all the properties, her own family. If they have gone, not taking the parents, now recently High Court has been ordered that they are leaving their parents and going and living separately. The children should give maintenance to the parents. So naturally, if the son is very rich, he has done everything in his life, parents has nothing, they can also take clients from this widow or saying that my son has done all these things and he has left us in the middle of the family and we are eligible to take these things, and that can also be done. So nobody knows all the laws, but this forum will give all the guidance to the lady. So these are the issues we have seen in general in our experience. So issues are same from the village till the total city like they are in our country. I don't know much about because I've not studied about the other country issues, but I feel the issues may be the same in other places also. I have put on my 4 decades of service, almost 3 decades with the villagers, then 1 decade in the high society like Bangalore. I have done all category of work. I have dealt with all varieties of ladies, all varieties of children, all varieties of cases I have handled with that. So the issues are the same, the ignorance is the same, the untouchability is still today in this society is the same. Though we are giving lot of stress on these work, we're all doing, and still everyone is continuing, still it is there. So first of all, what are the welfare work to be done? So these are the issues in general we have seen. Along with that, there are many personal issues there. But thinking of overall, these are the main issues are there. So coming to the welfare point of view, there are so many welfare work is going on today. First, the widow lady, what she should do. So one thing is that she should take first the death certificate of the husband. If the case is referred to the government, it is with the police, it is running with the court, whatever the thing, that certificate will be issued. So she should take the death certificate to be taken in original for all the cases separately. Paying the amount to the concerned, either the Gramatana or Shildar office, wherever she is living, or in the high society from the corporation. They can take any number of copies by paying the price to that. They have fixed some amount for certificate. She should take death certificate and it should be produced original to everything. If they have 10 accounts in different 10 banks, each bank she should produce that. Then the second thing, she should hold for whatever the claims, whatever the welfare she will get, whatever I will explain in the below status and some more in the other video also. But she should be ready. What are the things required? What are the preparation she should have? The birth certificate she should hold. So previous days there was no birth certificate. For me, I don't have a birth certificate. Such seniors, if are there, they should take transfer certificate from the school. 10th standard, they will issue a transfer certificate. There they will mention the date of birth. That is also eligible. They should hold their own birth certificate. Then their marriage certificate. So many cases without marriage certificate, it has full failure. Opposition lawyer, they say she is not the wife of this person only. So they must have their marriage invitation, their birth certificate, their husband and her photographs, marriage photographs, everything. What we do, we never keep our marriage invitations only. Many people, they say, I will not even remember how was my marriage invitation was there. Because my parents did it, I will not even remember. I got married. I don't have, madam, they say. But we should educate. the people, both the husband as well as wife, they should have separate record. We cannot say it is only widows look out. Even the man will be harassed with the woman. He will have so many problems with their divorce and all. So both of them, if they have done marriages through horoscope, both should maintain their horoscopes, copy of the opposite, and their birth certificate, their marriage invitation, then registered marriage certificate and marriage photographs. These are things to be maintained with each of them separately. Because nowadays we cannot expect at the age of 70 years. Recently, in my neighborhood, someone took divorce at the age of 70. We feel that the olden generation, there was no divorce at all. Because I don't know, maybe looking into the younger generation taking divorce, maybe they also thought that they will be happy after divorce. But if we'll see a widow or a widower, how they struggle with the partner, then everyone should feel that we should now not go for a divorce. So we can't say in this today's modern world, 22nd century, divorce is a common word for any age group. So anything can happen at any time. So these are the documents. Even till today, if we don't have in your hand, let us maintain all these things separately. And then the next is the income certificate. Whose income certificate is required? If the lady is also employed, her income certificate is also required, and the husband's income certificate or the family income certificate, what was issued from the designated authority like Tashildar or the revenue authorities, that should be maintained with them in this file. Then the Aadhaar card, nowadays it is quite required for each child also. Aadhaar card is a must. Aadhaar card should be there. So if an Aadhaar card, their living place is different, their address proof should be there. So nowadays is we will book our Aadhaar card somewhere and we live somewhere. So in such cases, if our passport will support our living address, that could be given, or our gas bill can be given. Any government authority issued or electricity bill is also considered. So at the worst case, they can give their agreement copy. This should be maintained with her for further work. So when she have all these things, her bank passbook printout should be ready and original passbook should be carried with her. So not only her, even the husband's passbook, maybe he holds 10 copies, 10 branches, everything she should maintain in her hand. Only with all this certificate, she should take Xerox copies and it should be attested by a gazetted officer above the rank of class 2 officers of the government. No else can sign these records. That will be signed by second division, second class officer or first grade officer or any gazetted officer will be signed. And these things should be ready in her hand. Means anybody can fight with her for any other work in the society. So there are three categories here again coming to point that they depends upon income, poverty and below poverty line widows will get certain extra benefit. Middle class family, they will get extra benefit. Higher class families, they have other privilege. And the husband is a government employee, there the privileges are more for this lady. So that is all depend of the individual widow in this society. So after getting all these things, so these certificates can be, she can get it from either from Nada Kacheri or from the Tashildars or from the municipalities where talukas are the headquarters or from the corporation where cities are there. She cannot take the certificate from any non-wanted or unauthorized person. I will get you, he says, and somebody's seal and signature he will misuse and bring it and takes 10,000 as the fees and go, means it will not work out. She should take all her certificates directly from these concerned officers only. So all the things has done. Once everything's ready, it is ready in her file, she can start for her further requirements, further fulfillment of her life. So who are all eligible? All these things. And 18 years to 60 years, a widow is eligible for these things. Somewhere child marriage has been happened. If the child is 16 years, in the age of 20 years, the wife became widow means she is not eligible for any of these work because herself is treated as a child and the husband who married at the age of 20, so this case will not stand. So they have to wait for another 2 to 3 years, then they may start digging. If she is lucky enough, she may get the benefit. But 18 years to be there for a widow to get the below benefits to her for her welfare of the life. So why 60 years we are stopping this? Because 60 and above is called the senior citizen age. There the benefits will change. There they can take the senior citizen benefit. Old age pensions are there. Though for those things she is eligible. So widow is eligible from the age of 16 to 60 years, whatever the age may be. So all the certificates should be there in her this thing. If the death of the husband is related to police case, the FIR report should be there and the postmortem report should be there. All copies to be there. Xerox copies to be authorizedly signed with a gazetted officer, and that is also required for further help for her in her welfare of the work. So, coming to the what are the welfare programs are there for widows. So first, let us think of if the widow's husband was a government employee. Really, they are the happiest widows who live in this society today. Don't feel that what Madam is telling happiest. See, for everyone, financial status very important. Here, in this case, especially, they are really happy. Why? Because of their fulfillment of financial status. The thing is that they will get compensatory work according to their educational qualification. Minimum to minimum, she will get. If she is seventh pass, also she will get. If she is an illiterate, at least she will get a scavenger post. Nowadays, after the sixth and seventh pay commission from the state and central government, they are getting such a good handsome salary in the government. Whatever the job she will get a handsome salary. So compensatory job, if she is already a SSLC post, she will get a second division clerk post. If she is well educated, she will get FTC post also. After coming to FTC post, if she is graduate, she will get higher post also. So this is the best benefit, and they should not postpone getting these benefit. Every day is counting. Every day will count. Simply crying, sitting at home, I lost my husband, nobody is there to take care of me, will count each day. If she will get a job in an early date, so all the dates will count. Recently, we had been to one case to our Supreme Court protecting our promotions of our grade. One lady, when she was joining for the job, she was a lactating mother. When she got the government job, she was not aware the facilities, what are the things to be done, what are the benefits she will done and all. And the girl, after completion of 6 months of her lactation period, she joined the government job. The same list of the people they joined earlier, that is 6 months earlier. So they got not listed officer post, above the post also they have promoted. But this lady, Still, she is there in C group only. She is not even promoted as class 2 officer also. See, each day will count. So for this widow also, she can get all the benefits at the earlier stage. This is one compulsory job she will get. She will stand on her own legs with her own salary. Obviously, she will take care of the children. There will be no problem. If she is a unique family, she can maintain. If she is in joint family also, she will have certain recognition in the family. That is one thing. The second best help for her is her husband's savings amount will come to her. What all PF he has done, so many varieties of savings are there. All the amount, it's not in thousands, it will come in lakhs together. What the lady, obviously, she will put all these savings into bank fixed deposit. Every month, a certain amount of interest will come to her account. So her income status will go up. The third thing, she will get husband family pension every month. So that is another form of income for her. So she will go up with the third step for her income status. Then already husband is having the properties like rented properties or other agriculture properties. From there also she will get source of income. Again, she will stand on the fourth step of her income status. Then almost she will have all the support and her own salary with the pension of her husband, family pension, then the interest from the fixed deposit and the property income. Everything makes her to be happy. In certain officers, though a class 2 officer is not having that much financial support, that much support, this lady, this widow will have, she will have her content life and she can give good education to the children and whole life she will be standing on her own leg with her own capacity and her own strength and on her own individual decision making power. She need not depend anybody. If she is lucky, if husband is a government employee, obviously she will get all these welfare. But not all are lucky. Five fingers are not same. So if one will get all these benefits, let us see what about the all other four, all other nine people in this society. So nowadays, government has started Pradhan Mantri Vidhva Mahila Samruddhi Yojana. The Yojana is called Vidhva Yojana. It is called Vidhva Samruddhi Yojana. Here, government will give 5 lakhs to the lady who is a widow of the poverty line. So after taking that 5 lakhs, she can start her own business if she is able to do that. For that, again, Women and Child Welfare Department, SC Corporation, Labor Department, so many other departments, they will give her loans for the development of the industry or whatever it is. That is also 25% subsidy loans they will give. They give initial to top, all the trainings are free, all the benefits are free for her, and the product will also be purchased from the government through the agencies. So she need not go in and around to sell her property, to her production and all. So slowly she can develop. Today, one lady, she's there in Chikamagalur, you know, where Indira Gandhi has won her MP, MLA seat there. That is one of the famous and very richest place in Karnataka. There, one lady, after she became widow, she started her own industry. Today, today she is the award winner from the Rashtrapati also. She got all the awards. What are all awards are there from the government, from any department. She has put all the awards in her book. And she is such a efficient lady. And she is only SSLC passed lady. She is not a double graduate. She don't have any other experience, but only her courage, her empowerment, her enthusiasm has brought her for the total welfare of her. Today, you must go and see her house. and how much social work she is doing, and how much vulnerable groups people she is helping. Such a nice lady I have ever seen in my 4 decades of experience. In 1974, she was a widower. Now, today, she is running a widow home of her own in her place, native place, and giving all the support for those widows. They can stay at home, but she will give all the guidance free and all the support, financial support, everything she will do. See, there are the models also. So this one is 5 lakhs through PM Vidva Mahila Samruddhi Yojana they will get for the low income group. See, low income group means now they have fixed the family income should be below 25,000. So who are all below income group, they will get this, not the above income group. So again, I told you the income certificate should be taken from the higher authorities only, not from anybody. Then Vidova monthly pension is there. Here they will get 12,000 in a year. It is all the Vidvas are eligible. They can take it every month. 1,000 amount will come. Very beginning in the records, I said they should have their own passbook. Why? Because previously only husband used to hold passbook, no passbook for ladies at all in many homes. So this 1,000 rupees Vidva Vetana will come to her account every month through bank. So for that purpose, she should have that bank account. There also she should give all these attested by a gazetted officer copies should be given for her registration. Nowadays, online registrations also come, or she can go personally to the officers and she can submit her this thing within 2 months after the verification of all the records and her living place and other things. She will be sanctioned that till her 60 years of life she will get this benefit. All the vidivas are eligible for this. Every month, 1,000 rupees pension is given to them. So there are so many pensions are available. If she has got a retarded child, for that retarded child also she can produce all these things. It may be physical retardation or mental retardation. That child will get 1,400 rupees every month. That will also be given to the mother for the welfare of this child. So these are the two pensions she can take. If the children are normal, they are not eligible for anything. But if she has girl children, they will get free education till their law also. They can do any course. They will get full this thing. If they do law course, 5 years law course, after degree they have to do, and they will get all the benefits. Free of education they will get. They can take that opportunity also. So if they have labor card, if they hold labor card means nowadays we heard that so many work is undertaking from government, making roads, making all other development works. Those who laborers are working for them, government will issue a labor card. If they hold that labor card like a ration card, labor card has been issued to these people. If they hold this labor card, this widow soon after ready with all these about documents, she can produce those documents to this labor department. She will get 50,000 rupees cash. This can also be saved in her account and she can make use of that for further her of life. So after that, she will be a permanent employee. If she is illiterate, she want to continue her life in the same village, she will get permanent labor card. She will get all 365 days job. For others, job may be cut off and again they will give like that. But for widows, they see that they will be given job throughout the year, either in project or the other project or somewhere. They see that she will be provided and she will be given all the benefits which is possible. So this privilege is there for the widows. They can take this from them for this purpose. So another is Saptapadi is the one of the latest uh, program in Karnataka. I don't know much about other states. So Saptapadi means, as the word says, marriage. It is Maru Vivaha, the second marriage. So this is from the government. If any widower will come and marry a widow, they will get 55,000 of cash. And all the marriage will be arranged from the government, including food, photography, everything will be done from the government, including giving them Mangalya Bhagya and everything. This 55,000 cash will be given to them, and there they can lead their new life. Both if they have their children, everything will made with affidavit, and they should vote that I will take care of children like my children, and he should also say that in this, if at all, a government employee, what I said very beginning, if she will also go for this Saptapadi, then she will lose one benefit from her all 4 5 steps of income. The benefit which she will get as a family pension from husband pension, that will be stopped because she is leaving this husband's name and she is going to attach with a new husband. All other things will be carried with her. Only the family pension, what she is taking from the first husband, that will be stopped, and it will be after that they will lead their life with other this thing. In certain cases, the widower and widow will not marry. Usually what is going on nowadays, all widowers, they come. In my life I was working for one such of that organization in government itself. Whoever the widowers used to come and put an application with me, they want to have a fresh girl. I used to ask them, why can't you marry a widow? No madam, she will have her children. What about you? I have 3 children. So they want only a fresh girl to be married. If government makes a compulsory rule that a widower should marry a widow only, then half of this problem will be solved. In such case, this 55,000 will not be sanctioned in Saptapadi. They will not get it. So, in general, if this lady is a higher community lady and a SC people will come and marry this widow, they will get 1 lakh rupees from their this thing, and she will get 25,000 rupees from the department as a marriage convenience amount. So that can also be done. So if a uh, mm, girl from SC community, she will marry in higher end, there also same thing will repeat. If they marry a widower also they will get. If they marry a fresher also they will get this benefit. That is also there. So now in India, as I said in the beginning, there are 5 crores of widows are there. If all these things will be followed, at least let us see these 4 crore widows or seniors are already past their menopause or anything. Let us think this 1 crore of young widows, they can be benefited. They will have their own life. They will be given with a new life, the enjoyment. Every nowadays, too many prostitution cases are coming. Why? This is the life a human being. Sex is also an entertainment for them. They want some happiness. They want some togetherness. They want to lead. They want to share their life. A man and a lady together leads their happy. That is only family. So why can't we think of at least this 1 crore of widows who are young and energetic? They can lead their family. Why can't we give this opportunity for them? So altogether, the all widowers should marry a widow means really nowadays we see so many requests are there in the media. I'm a widower. I'll ask my husband. I'm only 28 years. I need someone. I want to lead happy life. All these things, why it is coming? Because the requirement is there. So altogether, if we do something for this, so we can do many improvements for this 1 crore of young widows in our country. So all these things is very much required for the welfare of the widows. And while thinking of their problems, thinking of their issues, there are thousands of issues. Each one, teach one like that. Each one stand for a widow. So if we help them, maybe that we are 5 crores of social workers there in this society. Surely, why can't we take one hand into our hand? Why can't we help them? So, either for their earning or for their life or for their kids' education, let us together put them to a good education. There are so many people running good schools for children. So just join those single parent child children to those schools, to the boarding school where they get everything free of cost. Do that much seva. You do everything of your child. Explain everything to do this widow. And please put her also in some of the place where she will get all the protection. Let her have her confidence. Let her build up her own self decision making power. Then she will lead an happy and well-being life for herself, and she can get it. While coming to the benefits of the family, if the widow is from a joint family, they are already living with joint family, they have not gone out, they are not having their own high-end family or anything. If they are in the poverty line, in still today villages, they are living in joint family only. If the husband expires in the middle of her life, she has all the power. So she can get every month 2000 rupees maintenance charge from in-laws or brother-in-laws, whoever is there. They have to pay her every month 2000 rupees for her maintenance. At the very beginning, I told she is not eligible for 50% of her husband's income or husband property because it is joint family. So she is not eligible there. But she can climb. When she climbs, she will get 2000 rupees for her every month as maintenance and 4000 rupees for children's benefit. For if she has got 4 children, for all 4 children, this joint family should pay each child for 4000. She has only one child, then also she is eligible. If mother is pregnant while demise takes place, after the birth of the child, that child is also eligible for the maintenance of the child is 4000 from this joint family. It is irrespective of village, city, country, wherever they are. The rules is the same. The benefits are the same. So one should be aware that they should take all these benefits from the government, from the family, from the society, and all together let us give a good life, a good encouragement, a good endeavor for these widows and to their children. Let them never think that they are the orphans. All hands together make a good clap. Let us all together put our hands into the hands of those widows and children. We'll make this society a happy society, a happy life for our widows and our orphan children in this society. They are all ours. We are all for them. So all together we say all the best for the widows and the children of this today. I hope I have taken much time. Sorry, sir, my internet some problem is there, so I could not see you. Anybody? No. Any questions is there? You can put me, sir. Hello, Ravinder, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for your very insightful and wonderful session. Definitely, you are a wonderful asset and to the like a Kohinoor to our webinar series, because every time you are contributing a lot, and that too, these kind of practical experiences, generally many people won't be having, especially those who are recent in their profession, as well as the who are in the middle level of their professions. They would be definitely lacking this kind of exposure. So you are definitely adding value to these webinar series, ma'am, and definitely you made a very good contribution for this Widows Day, who are often left unnoticed or unsupported. It's really wonderful, and there are a lot of appreciation messages, ma'am, in the chat box. Participants, if you have any queries, you can raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself, or you can put your queries in chat box, if any. think
right?
your session was so self-explanatory that I mean, as far as I am concerned, there will be never be any queries, ma'am. It's so easy to understand also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your high respect. I am very proud of all of you, and I'm very happy with you all, sir. Always, though I spend my time with you, it is a pleasureful time for me. I enjoy these sessions also. Though my knowledge was sitting in a corner, you are given me this opportunity. You are weighing out my dust. So it's very nice to be with you all. Thank you so much. Very kind of you.
Thank you, ma'am. We eagerly look forward for your session. In fact, I always look forward whenever there is an event to you also to be part of it. But due to, I mean, you are, in spite of your age and other things, you are very much active. Even we are not able to be so active like you. God bless you and give you more strength and opportunities, and we are always there whenever you feel like sharing something. Feel free that we will be making you part of it, and we will be very happy. In fact, the most happiest person on the planet, I would like to say, to make you part of this knowledge sharing series. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Mary, want to speak something? Hello, Mary.
Yeah, ma'am. 1 second. There are few hands raised.
Okay.
Yeah, Mary, ma'am. Mary, ma'am, I am unmuting my side, so don't do anything from your side. Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. Actually, I didn't know so much things is there in this video things. Actually, I don't know also today's video day. Only I know that today's you are coming and speaking from the Women and Child Department. Actually, I don't know all these days. Ravindra sir only very particular about these dates and all. So that only. But I'm very today's session was like mind blowing. So much things I don't know that so much government is doing, so much Modi sir, Prime Minister is doing. I am very blessed to have a mother like you, and I'm so gifted to be a daughter, ma'am. I'm so happy.
Thank you, Mary.
Each time is for me. You come on the panel, I feel like so blessed. So blessed, and I don't know how I can express my happiness. Every time I ask you come, you never say no to my wishes. In that way only, I'm really bow down to you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Maybe Mary, this is the God gift, and also my father has blessed me like anything. When I was young, no, he was everything. Even today, if you'll give me pick and speak, I never say no for any subject. Like that, he has trained me for everything, and my 4 decades of service has given me lot of experience. But I don't know these modern technologies and other things. But my experience, my father, which he gave me all the courage to me, has given me all this power, Mary. Today also, really blessings of my parents. I'm here with you all, with love of all of you, Ravindra sir, and you are giving so many opportunities for me. So really, I'm very happy. This is all because of my dad. I love my dad, and I love all of you also. You are all my children. Hello?
Ma'am, there is one query, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Please, Shabana, you are welcome.
Yeah, ma'am. By Anil Kumar. Shabnam. Okay, we will take Shabnam.
Yes.
Shabnam, I am unmuting from my side. Yeah.
Hello, Shabnam.
Good evening, ma'am. I have no words. I would just reiterate that what Ravindra sir was saying, that you are a Kohinoor, and when you talk your experience, it speaks volumes, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, guiding us, giving us so much information. And as Mary ma'am was the government is doing so much, but you've worked with people. Thank you, Ravinder sir, for getting ma'am every time. It's a blessing to hear you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Sabina, I
At
love you
your
so
age,
much.
it is.
I'm very happy. You're all my friends here. Really, I love you all.
Thank you, ma'am. At your age, you are sharing your.
I'm 68 now, but I never feel 68. I feel I'm 18 only.
Wonderful, ma'am. May God
Even
give
if
you
you
a lot of
come,
strength
even
and
if you'll come with
positivity.
a
And
marathon, I am ready for 20 kilometers marathon today also.
wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful.
Yes,
Great. Thank
I,
you so much,
I
ma'am.
never.
Good evening.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
So nice of you all. Really
Please
hug you all.
thank you, ma'am.
Sometimes
Thank you.
let us meet together physically
Sir.
after this COVID and all. Thank you so much, Sabana. I like it. I like it. So nice.
Pleasure, ma'am. Totally ours.
Yeah,
Good evening.
yeah.
Yeah, Anil Kumar, would you like to ask your query? You are unmuted.
Hello,
Anil Kumar? Okay.
Anilji. It's my pleasure and speak.
Actually,
Hello.
he has.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Anil.
Ma'am, your lecture was very magnificent, and I was uh, very obliged to hear you. But, ma'am, I have some
Yeah.
queries that few government officials don't want to work regarding the if you go to help them the some widows, because some peoples don't have any kind of documents because of any literacy or in a because of they are poor and have no such kind of any information. In that case, how can we help them? Because government officials don't want to take any chance or take any risks. They always used to say that sometimes lakir ka fakir documents. They always ask required documents whether or not. What can we do?
Anil, there was a disturbance. Can you repeat it, please? I
Hmm?
could not hear you.
Ma'am, I
Please tell
said
me.
ki
Is that
hello.
hello? Yeah, tell me. Yeah, Anil,
I
please.
think there is a network issue.
Yeah,
Hello.
too much disturbance from. Hello, hello.
Ma'am, what Anil is asking is when there is a deficiency, I mean, lack of proper documents, what can be done to procure documents or in such cases?
Oh, okay. Anil, really, it's not that difficult to get all these documents, but it is mandatory. Without one document, also, neither government will accept nor the any other agency will take it. So solely that's why I'm telling even today. For example, me and you, we don't have certain documents with us. Let us start now itself to build up our documents. Other than death certificate, every document can be pre-planned and get it ready. Not only for our death certificate, for other things, any purpose, for schooling, anything. See our birth certificate, we never think of birth certificate. Let us make our own birth certificate and keep it ready, both for me and for my spouse. For income certificate. Income certificate, we should take it from the concerned authorities and make it sure. See, Anil, for your kind information, I'm till today I'm doing adoption work. So many biological parents, they don't have their own kids. So I'm giving them adoption children. So in their case, if I start doing all the work, they also don't have their certificate. So I advise everyone. So half of the work we can do now itself. Let us keep our own file ready. So other remaining files, remaining documents is not that difficult. Within 4 days, you can get ready all your documents continuously. Because if anybody need how to get it and all, they can call me personally. I'll tell them where to go, whom to meet, how to apply. I can explain, because here all the timing is very, very important. I cannot go very micro level. They will allot me 1 hour and I will take 1.5 hours in all the session. My session always prolonged session. Mary will say stop, stop, stop. That's why I cannot go very. Even if you have any personal question, please take my number through the organizer and you can call me anytime. Anybody tells, I am always there with you. How to get all these certificates, which agent will give which certificate. That also I'll explain. Or anybody, anytime Ravindra sir will give me another opportunity how to get the documents from government. That I can do one session. I don't mind.
Sure, ma'am. Definitely, whenever you are available next time, we will take up. That is, I think that is very important for all to have
Sir, please
documents.
give Anil my number, sir, because some problem with internet today. The Wi-Fi problem, I don't know, my microphone is problem. I'm not getting it proper, this thing. Please give my number, sir. I'll speak to him. Or you forward his number to me. I'll call him and explain him. I'm not happy. My full explanation is not there for Anil's question now.
Sure, ma'am. Definitely, Anil, you can leave your number to me in chat box, and I will also share ma'am's number so that you can contact her and get clarified. And where are you from, Anil? Which state or which place?
Hello, sir. I belong.
Hello?
I'm from Uttar Pradesh, Ghaziabad.
Uttar Pradesh,
Okay.
Ghaziabad. Okay.
Yes.
Anil, you're most welcome. I have done lot of you, so it's my privilege. Again, I'm getting a good friend from UP. You're most welcome, Anil. When you are free, call me. I'm always free because now I'm retired. Only when I'll be in webinars and I'm doing adoption work, I'll be a little bit busy. That's it.
Okay, Anil, I will be
So any
sharing.
more questions?
You can contact me. You have my contact number in the invitation message, registration message. You just ping me. I will be sharing ma'am's number. Then any others would like to share? We can quickly have it. We have another speaker also with us. So if there are no queries, then thank you, ma'am, once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Have a good day and let the other speakers speak. Let us enjoy their speech also. I hope I have taken long time today.
No, ma'am, it was very much adequate.
Oh,
and
thank you.
see you on Sunday, ma'am. Sunday we
Yes,
have
sir.
another wonderful session. And that is also very much related to Women and Child Department, this drug abuse, illicit
And
trafficking.
it's a personal subject.
Yeah. That your favorite subject. We
Yes.
always love to hear from you.
Okay, sir. Nice meeting you again. Meet you again and again. Good night. All the best for your endeavor, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art Sciences and Wellbeing, and on behalf of all the participants, we wish you all the success and look forward for more sessions. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we will move on to our next speaker for the day. We have with us Dr. Vidya Hari Iyer. She is founder and director, psychotherapist and counselor, Dr. Vidya Smile Dental Clinic, Tamil Nadu. She is multi-talented personality, dentist, artist, animal lover, entrepreneur, passionate dancer, classical singer, author, social activist, and also many more. And she is a speaker more apt for today's day. I think she would be the right person to say. Let's listen to her. Vidya ma'am, you can unmute yourself. You can start your video. You can start your presentation.
Can you see and hear me, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, good evening, friends, and thank you so much, Ravindra sir, for this opportunity. It was wonderful. For the last almost 2 hours, I've been listening to both your lectures. It's been very nice. Thank you for all the inputs that you have given, and I'm sure commemorating the International Widows Day is so very important, especially when we need to understand that we need to empower every woman and see that she is safe and fine, right? So I'm going to start with my presentation. Just give me a second. Are you able to see the slides, sir?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay. Thank you so much. So my topic of today's discussion is going to be my identity is still alive. So I'm sure we've been hearing for the last 2 hours why we are commemorating the International Widows Day, which is the 23rd of June. And what is the true sense, the plight of every woman, not only in our country, but almost globally. So every year on June 23rd, the International Widows Day, this gives a special recognition to the situation of the widows of all ages across the globe. And this situation of widows is especially very important in developing countries. And this is not a great statistics to understand, but at least to empathize with women, we need to understand that 1 in 3 widows worldwide live in India or in China. And India is the world capital of widows, which is 46 million widows, which has overtaken China, which is 44.6 million, to become the country with the largest number of widows. So I'm sure the statistics is quite alarming for all of us. And this is something which we definitely need to work on. So the day was launched by the United Nations in 2010 to raise awareness of the violation of human rights that widows suffer in many countries following the death of their spouses. And this International Widows Day was established by the Lumba Foundation, basically to raise awareness of the issues of widowhood. The significance of the 23rd June is that on that day in 1954, Srimati Pushpavati Lumba, the mother of the foundation's founder, Lord Lumba, became the widow. So that is how this foundation came into being. And this is a foundation for caring for widows across the globe. So in 2022, that is this particular year, the theme of the International Widows Day is Invisible Women, Invisible Problem. Why invisible women? Is because their voice is not heard, and their problems are so multifold that there are only, it's more of a negative, blackened area of the society. Millions of widows across the world battle 4 critical issues of poverty, violence, which could be physical, sexual, health, and conflict-related situations. And as has been pointed out by the previous speakers, the pandemic has caused a lot more damage and has increased these numbers. There are many women with children who need help. Some of them are not educated, some of them were not working, and if they had work, they had lost the work during the pandemic. So there is a lot of things which has been gone even in the economical front. So as widows move through their own experience of grief, loss, or trauma after the death of the spouse, things have not become very easy even in the societal level. So they face economic insecurity because of the loss of the breadwinner of the family. There is social discrimination, stigmatization, and harmful traditional practices on the basis of their marital status. And this marital status, as you get married, most of us, wear the glass bangles, and you have the Mangal Sutra, you have the Kumkum, and all of which is actually taken away from the woman. We need to understand that most of the bangles or anything what a woman dons, that she starts wearing it even as a child. So it's not something which is worn only after she gets married. I can understand probably if you speak about the Mangal Sutra or the Kumkum, but why totally derobe her and give her this kind of a treatment? And in some places it's even more harsher, where the widows are supposed to shave off or tonsure their hair so that they don't invite men or unnecessary men into their lives. The manifold problems of a widow which she faces are, obviously, the first thing is the grief or the loss of a spouse. This feeling is definitely multifold in nature, and it shifts her whole life to another direction. The greatest problem in widowhood is still emotional, even if it has been a bad marriage that she's gone through, because the early loss of husband could also be due to other social causes or habits like smoking, alcohol, and other types of habits. So the survivor, that is the woman, definitely feels the loss, because right now it just looks that she's available. Inheritance rights, as has been discussed already, majority of Indian women are deprived of their inheritance rights. Prohibition of remarriage, some castes still prohibit the remarriage of a widow. However, certain government steps have been taken, which has been again explained. Observation of the mourning rights in some places where the woman does not have a son to do the mourning rights. In many places, that is also an issue. Victim of violence, it could be physical, it could be sexual, sometimes even by their own family members, and definitely an economical problem. And added to this, in some cases, they are left to live alone and face the stigmatization. So being widowed and aged, it's another absolute vulnerable situation, and here they are vulnerable to abuse and neglect. And around 5% of elderly widows reported are actually gone through physical harm, again by somebody known to them or in their own household. So here is Kubler-Ross's grief cycle. As we said, the worst thing is the grief. So initially it is the denial stage, where there is a lot of confusion, elation, shock, fear. So most of the time the woman is sad and depressed and crying. And then it is a future which is uncertain. Then it goes into anger. There is frustration, there is irritation, there is anxiety, and all this causes a mental toll on the person. Bargaining, because there's a lot of struggling happening and finding meaning and reaching out to others, telling every person the same story again and again, is again making her very vulnerable. Depression, again a feeling of overwhelmedness. When somebody asks, it's all an outpour of the emotions, helplessness, hostility from people, and the flight. And the last phase is the acceptance, where they are exploring options, new plans in place so that they could move on with their life. So this grief cycle, everybody would go through, whether it is a loss of a spouse or anybody. However, this comes back and again in a form of rumination. So Rale divides widowhood into 3 distinct stages, which is grief, growth, and grace. And Nina Verma, in a very beautiful book, spoke about these 3 aspects of womanhood. And this is a growth mandala, what Neena Verma has actually suggested, where from the grief affirmation stage, you move on to the resilient adaptation phase, and then you go into a phase of transformation. And this is the only route to a woman's well-being. So understanding these three stages, the first is a stage of grief, where the person totally becomes very sad. There is numbness of all emotions. There's a financial loss, need to be heard and understood because she is going through a lot within herself and around herself by the society. They are highly vulnerable at this point of time. No big irrevocable decisions can be made. So we need to focus on the immediate needs at this point of time. If there is any means where there can be some economical balance, we need to help such widows with that. And definitely we need to allow her to feel financially and physically secure with herself. So this will give her space and areas to breathe so that she can start living her life. Next is the phase of growth, where in case there is a husband who's been working in a government job and the government is ready to give the job for the widow, then the economics becomes stable and there is a balance. Or when she finds work and she goes to work so that she can support herself and her family, her kids, education, everyday lifestyle. So that would be the growth journey. Here, there is a general planning where they learn to start life again. Cognitive functions are normalized. Financial steps are finalized. And in some areas, there are some family members who come forward to help and honestly assist these women. Basic estate planning, investment and taxes, where women generally are not having a very strong footage, there is help taken. Pre or post-retirement issues and house decisions are made. This definitely brings about a balance in her mind, in her economical status, and her life is back on the road. The last is a grace, where there is a stage of transformation, where there is you can take more care of yourself. So here you have advanced planning and new life which revolves and evolves. Here there is repurposing, a shift to find her purpose of life. There is independence, advanced estate and charitable planning, and special family issues, probably leaving a better legacy for the next generation. So this gives a life of fulfillment. Widows usually go through these three phases, from grief through growth to grace, a transition that can take years, according to the financial advisor Kathleen Rail. And that is how this has been given, the three stages of widowhood to an independent woman. So this day is not a day that we celebrate, but it is a day of honoring and bringing awareness to the real issues of widowhood. Every day is a widow's day to a widow, because life is totally turned. There is not one moment that passes that is not observed by the widow's heart and mind. Grief never ends. Love never dies. Missing him becomes a stage forever. So events are the sequence of life, and this cannot be denied. Just accepting it and moving forward is how a mental well-being can be given to these women. Here we are to break free and understand that our limitations is not by what is given. So no woman should lose her status, livelihood, or property when her husband dies. This is what UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon spoke in 23rd June 2014 on the Widow's Day. So what are the steps for moving on after a death of a spouse? It is definitely about letting go and moving on. So allow yourself to grieve the death of your spouse. As I told you, it goes through phases, and there is no particular time limit that you would grieve. Definitely there is time heals, but nevertheless the scar is definitely there. Surround yourself with your loved ones, your friends, your families who really mean and take care of you through this grieving period. Avoid making any big decisions or decisions when you are very emotional in emotional state, because this would definitely affect the future. So think twice and then work on yourself. As the adage goes, when you look at the tailor who stitches clothes, he would always measure twice and cut once. So that is the way you need to walk forward. If there is an overwhelming feeling, it is better to look out for counseling or meet a doctor, especially when you have sleepless nights, you're not able to eat or take care of yourself, because it's now you need to take a dual role in case you have a family to take care. Next is to take care of yourself. So unless your cup is full, you will not be able to help anybody around. So the mother's well-being, the widow's well-being has to be taken into account. Only then she will be able to fend for her children. Find a support group, a group of people who are ready to, share your thoughts. Sometimes you just need people to listen to you, and that itself will give you some kind of strength, some words of encouragement, some words of praise, and you can do it kind of an attitude would help the woman move forward. Educate others on how to help you. Avoid asking insensitive questions, and that is something which we need to educate the society, because not everybody has the right to enter that woman's boundary. Don't be afraid of the future. Take one day at a time, because it's not that the entire world has come to an end. You have the rights to live again and move forward. So to all the challenges that can come by your way, you have accepted them and conquered them. Have this feeling and work your life with zeal and courage. So how can you become or go from the stage of grief, growth, to a stage of grace? So these are the ways you can help a widow stand strong. Standing strong, not only in your faith, but also for your faith. So learn to love the loneliness. In the initial phase, it is very difficult. Nevertheless, over a period of time, this becomes your best teacher. All of us have come into this world one by one, and each of us have a time when we would leave this world. We need to take it in our stride sometimes and then understand if the woman really needs a partner or she's fine by herself. I have a friend of mine who lost her husband when she was in her early 20s. Nevertheless, she chose her life of loneliness, and she's very happy and successful. She took care of her son, and now they have a very happy life. So it's not that every time you seek for a partner, and you give her the space to grow, create the environment like you would create for a tree to bloom, to grow. Give them care, nurture them, give them water, give them space so that they could spread their wings. That's how you can empower a widow. Take control of your life. That's what we need to tell every single woman, not only a widow, but every single woman here. You need to take charge of your life. Join a community of people who have had similar or close to similar experiences. Learn from each other, empower each other, stand by each other, stand for each other, because that's the only way you would make this society a better place. Look into some short-term and some long-term things which needs to be worked on. Of course, the first is going to be roti kapada makan. So you need to find yourself food to eat, clothes to wear, and a place to live. So start from the basic and then move on to the long-term fixes. Sometimes when you have to go through the pain, be patient, because there would be a kind of a ray of hope at the end of the tunnel. This I say with my own personal experience, because it was not easy for me to be widowed 7 years back. But still, every day, working through my pain, being patient, I was able to work on all these points and get myself out of it. Practice gratitude. Write what all can you be thankful for. Express your gratitude to God. See how else can you show your gratitude. Have a gratitude journal. Have a gratitude jar. Count your blessings. That's the only way forward that you can move on. Write your story. Your story would be the most inspirational story for the next person who is going through the same challenge. Write your lows, write your highs. See and learn from your own story where you have overcome the difficult challenge and the face of your life. Once you read it, you would also feel empowered and you will be empowering the other people. Do your work. As soon as you get up in the morning, start your work. Don't sit idle, because moaning and groaning after a certain point of time is not going to be the solution. Always try to be a part of the solution. Work and try to see where things can get better. Feel your feelings. There is nothing for you to hide. You can cry, you can share your feelings, and you can have episodes or acute phases of when you would be thinking about your loss. That is perfectly okay. Nevertheless, start up again. Rise up like a phoenix bird and keep moving forward. Embrace the change. I know this is not what all of us wanted, but nevertheless, when it has happened, accept it and then embrace it. That's the only way you will be able to let go. If you're still in a stage of a denial, it will become very difficult for you to move forward. Take care of yourself, because grief can have a negative effect on your mental and social well-being. It's better to move on, and that's the only way you will have control of your heart, body, mind, and soul. Try to eat right. Most of the widows lose interest in cooking and eating. That happened with me too. It took me almost 6 months to get back to my normal diet and sleep patterns. Days are hard, but as I told you before, there's always ray at the end of the tunnel. Talk with caring friends, with people who boost your energy, not sap your energy. You want energy givers and not energy suckers. So it is very important for us to stand by every single woman who is a widow, understand her life through her eyes, and be empathetic towards her. So be valiant and keep rising. And that's the message for the day. Strong women aren't simply born. They are made by the storms they walk through. This is beautiful read to help you understand how you can get out of it in modern world. A Widow's Guide to Healing, Financial Strategies for Today's Women, and Widow to Widow. So you can read these books to help and understand their world. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and over to you for your questions in case you have any. Sir,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful session. Participants, feel free to share your comments, observations, queries, any clarifications. You can raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself, or you can put in chat box.
I think Mary has raised her hand.
Yeah. Actually, ma'am, I have a personal experience. I didn't tell to ma'am because she spoke about government issues. Actually, this Widow's Day is a very special day in my family. Back to back, mother became widow at 28 years, and my cousin sister, she got married in 2018. 2020 only she lost her husband. Now she's having 2 years child. Mother and child became widow na. The two mother became in 28, she became in 26. The in our family is like very traditional family. Tamilians, what words they said is like I still can't go through what it's the pain it's going through, because when ma'am spoke about government fees, why we should bring our sadness into this topic, I didn't tell, because my mom's younger brother's wife and my mom's younger brother's daughter. Now my sister is not that much educated. My cousin sister, she's having a small 2 years child. Now she's sitting at home.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. How are you? I'm fine, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
So I know I can personally, why I didn't bring out that time, because I know personally what you're going through. So
Yeah,
because
I guess.
whatever I tell, no, sometimes whatever topics you take, it somewhere is related to my life. I tell no, that is very true. I don't know how I connected with you, but somewhere it is impacted. Now also my mother feels how that it's happened in 2 generations to my own brother and my brother's wife and my brother's kid. That too, both are arranged marriage only, not love marriage also. Both passed in heart attack.
This has, I don't think, any relation to arranged marriage or love marriage.
No. What bad luck happened in both the generations, don't know. That too, that both the girls, my uncle's wife also is very good character. My cousin sister also, she's very reserved type. How this happened, what God's plan. So
I know some answers are very difficult. I mean, some questions are very difficult to answer. The only way we can think about this is to understand that, you know, life has to move on. There are some questions which never be answered. Nevertheless, you know, we need to move forward in life, empower the woman and never make her feel that, you know, she has been a destitute person. Always make her feel that
no,
she
we
can
are
do it.
empowering her. But in the first session, I didn't tell because madam was speaking about good things now with so much pensions and all. Why to bring my sorrow? I don't tell my miseries to anybody. Even my saddest thing, even to the most best friend I have, I don't tell. Because I always feel my sorrows should be within myself, within my family. My sorrows are little. My friends go through many sorrows. So why bring my sorrow to anybody? I don't tell to anybody. But today, so this happened in 2 generations in my family. No, that's why this is a platform for me to share my views.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jaivir sir has asked, even today, discrimination is done against widows in rural areas. Do you agree with me, ma'am? Jaivir Singh ji, I am a modern woman. I have faced through that discrimination. I stay in a city. I am very well educated. I have gone through whatever I have discussed on this presentation. So it is not that it has anything to do with rural or urban areas. It is the mindset of people. It's the mindset of the society. Maybe sessions like this will bring about some kind of an awareness, and probably 10 years down the line, we would be able to rise and, you know, voice much better. Nevertheless, I have gone through all of that. Whatever I had said, I have physically, personally gone through it. I know the pain, and it is very difficult to even express. If not if my parents had not educated me, I don't know how I would have stood this test of time. So it is but natural that we need to understand that there is nothing called of men and women have to be treated equally. There is gender equality, which is the topic of International Women's Day even this year, is very, very important. Break the bias is what was the sign given for International Women's Day. And I guess, you know, that is the first phase. Treat your girls the way you would want to, the same way you'd want to treat your boys, and raise your girl in that same, pretty much the same way. If you're giving education for your son, give education for your daughter too. And it is definitely that is the only way forward. And even when you get your children married, I don't know why it is still called daughter-in-law and son-in-law, but nevertheless, just understanding that there is another daughter who has walked into your family, and treat her like one. Give her the respect, because the society is judged by the way you treat your children and your wives or the womenhood. So it's very important. And as men, I guess a true man is a person who can voice their opinion against any woman. I mean, it's not that they have to be known to you also, but when you see injustice, it is always right to voice your whatever you have, your thoughts, your emotions. And I have taken a very strong decision to stand by all the women, and I have been doing my own ways of empowering people around me. And I have my own clinic, which is an all women's clinic, and this I've been having for the last 20 plus years. So it is pretty much something which I was always working towards. It's just that things happen, and sometimes you need to face the music, and then you need to rise again. I think that's the only way forward. Don't let anything limit you. You have to move beyond that. I hope I answered that question, Janvi. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Shabdam.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Shabnam.
Vidya. And I would just say that you are an yourself and now empowering.
Shabdam, I can't hear you. Your voice is breaking. Can you come again?
Sharing that you are an epitome of grace and growth yourself. Empowering you is so beautiful. Inspiration. And it is always so wonderful to hear your talks. I could not see PPT moving from my end, and all I would want to just know, maybe I'll initial bit of the is we are talking about the widow, but then how about the maid widow? I think we do have those gender different nomenclature, but I think the sense of loneliness and the emptiness that even men go through if they lose their partners. Yet in our society there are differences and there are difficulties at all ends, like you said, that initial roti kapda and makan difficulties. Yet I think, is there a forum to, or a day or somewhere people talk about how how people grapple with loneliness of not having a partner? And I think somewhere, if I can bring in that a world where people get divorced or out of unfortunate incidents they have not been able to find a partner, I mean, that kind of a loneliness. And then of course people live alone, they choose to live alone and they live gracefully. That's another part to it. And somewhere I think we are our only companions. I mean, at the end of the day, the person whom you will live with forever is you yourself, because 24 hours you can't be with someone. You keep shifting your connectedness to people around. So any takes on that, please? Would happy to know.
Definitely. I mean, I can answer this because my father-in-law was a widower. That's how we call the men who have lost their wives. So my father-in-law was a widower, and my father-in-law's elder brother also was a widower. They lost their spouses early in life. And it was very tough. I think the women probably God has made us in such a way that we are able to take the rest of the part better. Men face this loneliness much worse, especially the senior men. I'm talking about people who must be above 60 right now. The reason being that, in yesteryears, women were taught how to do the household work and men were, only outside breadwinners. So when they lose their spouse, right from probably even their everyday mundane activity, like from their morning cup of coffee or food to eat, or even clothes to wash, men are absolutely unaware. However, today's men are a little more, occupied with their kind of work, and they are able to cook and things like that. They are able to take care of their basic needs. But the yesteryear's men, definitely they had a problem, and I have seen it personally, experienced it in my own family. And if I have to tell you, their emotional quotient is worse than women. They are generally, there is a saying that men are the stronger sex and women are the weaker sex. I don't know why they say that. Probably because they say because we have an option of getting pregnant if we are impregnated. Other than that, I don't think women are the weaker sex. In fact, physically, even if you want to say women are weaker in terms of stature, the kind of the composition of a woman's body. But emotionally, women are much more stronger. They bounce back better. Men grieve, and there is a term called the widow chain, which means after the death of a spouse, especially if the wife has died, within a few weeks or months, the men also pass away. So their grief is much more, in very, very few cases, very few percentage where you would see the man outliving the wife. And that is why probably in olden era, the difference of the age between the man and the wife used to be almost 8 or 10 years. That just goes to explain that in case the husband passes away, the mother is there to take care, because generally when you are young, you have much better health and much better stamina to take care of your children. The connectivity, they say the generation gap, all that is less. And when you look at men, even after retirement, if you look at their life, women are able to generally, bind into the household work because it's something that they have always done. But for a man, even a case of a retirement, they don't know what to do if they have not had a 360-degree approach to their life when they were working. So men, I feel that I have a very soft corner towards them, probably because I'm a psychotherapist also. I see a lot of cases where men are more affected than women. Women are able to take things much better. And today I would say it is, you need to empower both men and women equally. They don't express also. Women at least cry, women express themselves. Men don't. Men are they're not very demonstrative. And another problem is women adjust. Even if it is with the son, they stay, or anybody they stay, they try to accept their situation and try to see what best they can do. But a man is very rigid emotionally and in the brain. They are brain strong, right? Women are heart strong. So the men, what happens is they predominantly, if you look at it, they're very rigid, so they don't want to, they have lived independently all their life. So for them to submit and be submissive to another person is a very tough thing. They are unable to have that balance, and that is the reason they pass away earlier, because this loneliness truly kills for them. I hope I answered your question.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, Even in my extended family, I'd seen a similar case where my uncle passed away within 2 days of my aunt going. And that is how I think women are more, they have more endurance to, deal with any crisis. And I think that's the beauty of being a woman. And likewise, what you narrated and reiterated, that yes, in our culture especially, men are not taught to be independent with their basic life skills that they need, be it cooking or cleaning. I remember one very 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 senior um, uh, official who lost his partner at obviously the fag end of his life. He cried literally like a baby, and was at a very powerful position. And he would say, he would even struggle to understand what to wear, I mean, what clothes to wear. So, I mean, that kind of a dilemma, I mean, yes, because coming from psychology, so this kind of a psychological perspective also needs to be put forward, that yes, men need to be prepared uh, as well. Yeah, ma'am.
Absolutely. And if you look at the younger generation of such, untoward incidents, what they generally do is remarry. The reason is they have a child to take care of. And so that, the basic things can, still go on in life. And women, of course, it depends whether they marry or not. But I have seen, I have another case of a person who lost her husband, and within 2 months of the loss, she couldn't take care of her son, and she got remarried to a person who was also a widower, who had a son, and then they started their family together. So, I mean, it's according to the law, I think you need to wait for 2 years or something like that. But in some cases, if everything is fine, they just go ahead with the marriage, because sometimes even basic survival becomes a difficult aspect.
In fact, I don't know if audience here is aware. In many cultures, the family, within the family, the marriage happens. I mean, especially getting married. There was a very old movie also. I think Hema Malini was the main character, where the woman is married to the younger, the brother-in-law, so that everything remains within the family itself. The other benefits that the woman has, the children. So that kind of thing was very much prevalent in the northern India, especially I'm talking about Punjab and Haryana. So that kind of a culture was there, and I'm forgetting, I think they have a term for it also. Of course, now times are changing, but yet at the same time, I'm another movie I'm reminded of where I think there was a divorce. I think Arth, I think by Mahesh Bhatt, where the woman takes up staying alone with, and she wants to grow and grow beyond the relationship, which are cliche relationships, like a husband or a partner. I mean, living for the society and understanding that you have a relationship with society at large. So that's another way. But yes, it's a very very emotional topic, and it's
I
very
think
very
one of the movies which brought out early widowhood was Prem Rog, and by Raj Kapoor Productions, and very beautifully they had spoken about irrational traditional practices and outcast, and how people treat widows and all. But I think, such meaningful movies just were a depiction of our society in those days. And whatever, we need to have a supermarket approach. Whatever is good, relevant, we need to stick on to this. As we have evolved from button phones to the latest version of cell phone, because change is the only constant thing. I think we need to understand wherever we need to hold the basic aspects of our tradition, and where we need to move on. I think that's the only way forward.
Absolutely, ma'am. And in fact, I was very intrigued with the Vasanta ma'am's speech, where she even mentioned that now people are getting divorced at late 60s or 70s. So how, things are rubbing on to the other side.
Tolerance is the
Him.
ingredient. Tolerance is the ingredient.
Absolutely,
Nobody
absolutely.
wants to tolerate
And,
nonsense. I think, at a particular point of time, that's what happens.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this lovely interaction, Shabnam. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. So if there are no more questions, over to you, Ravindran sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. It was really wonderful sessions for the day. I mean, it has focused on various aspects of this widowhood. I think maybe in coming days also we need to concentrate. Like this sustainable development goals, itself is a very broad term. I mean, everything comes under it. It's very difficult also at times to cover all the aspects. And right, definitely, this is also very important aspect, because nowadays, for that matter, even a man or a woman, I mean, anything, this loneliness, the process of grief, and as already discussed, the dependency, self-dependency, or various factors that are contributing to it. So, I mean, everything earlier, which was thought as not to be discussed, are to be discussed now, because things are changing, and society is also changing. Of course, still we have that old age mindsets, because our genes are not so rapidly changing like we are lifestyles. So that will change over a period of time, but we need to put constant efforts. So I also seen many case studies where women who are widowed, who end up with nothing, they became the very role models and running, like Vasanta ma'am also pointed out. They stood apart from everyone, ahead of men and women. So that gives inspiration for all of us, and so we can achieve a lot. For that matter, even men or women, whoever is widowed, or there is a lot to achieve. Nowadays, with this modern lifestyle, breakup or getting divorce is common. So even getting widowed is also to be common, because for that matter, life is not taken for granted. Today I am here, maybe next moment I may not be there. So in the uncertainty, so we have to be certain at certain level. So everything should be accepted as it is. Life has to be taken as it comes. So that is more important. Live in the moment and enjoy the moment. So with this takeaway, it was really a wonderful interaction by everyone. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. Thank you, delegates, for that wonderful interaction. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So on behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation in India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing, on behalf of all participants, we wish you all the success and look forward for more sessions in the future. And this platform is our platform, so feel free to, whenever if you want to share some knowledge, everyone is welcome to come over. And we are also planning for this bilingual or multilingual series also soon, because even from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, even in Andhra, Telangana, we have very good speakers, but unfortunately they are not well versed in English. So we are facing that language challenge. So what we thought is we will also have a series in respective languages, so that maybe that knowledge, which otherwise language is a barrier, shouldn't be a barrier. Now we have a lot of this automatic translation or captioning. So maybe we'll try different methods with the technology. So everyone feel free. This is our platform. And there is, as you all know, there is no charge for everyone. The only motive here is sharing of knowledge. So feel free, join us.
Sir, sorry for interrupting. There is a delegate Virendra Kumar Thakur who wanted to say something. I think he has raised his hands.
Yeah, Virendra. Yeah.
Yes, madam. I want to add something. That movie was Ek Chadar Maili Si, in which Hema Malini is forced to marry her brother-in-law. So that is Ek Chadar Maili Si, Hindi movie. And this custom is called levirate marriage. It is also mentioned in Bible. So in English we call it levirate marriage. That is widow marrying her brother-in-law. Or in Hindi we call it Devar Bhabhi Vivah Pratha. So that is very prevalent in Punjab and Haryana. That is northern states here.
And I think there is also similar practice in Islam also. I'm not sure, but I heard.
You're right. So even I have heard and I've seen also.
Yeah. So, I mean, every culture, at the end of the day, we all are human beings, so irrespective of what culture or belief system we do. But such practices are still existing. I mean, those need to be looked on moral or ethical things rather than this property or economical or social. So, yeah, I mean, these practices are there everywhere. Maybe the family is the best, community or the society in benefit of the widower or widowee. The best decision can be taken, because sometimes that can be the best decision, sometimes it can be the worst thing that can happen. So maybe they are the right persons to take a decision. So whatever it may be, if it is for the productive, constructive, I mean for the benefit of the widower or widowee, we can welcome. But again, these social norms, traditions are there, which are always there. So maybe we will see, because things are transforming. So this should also be getaway, because nowadays we have seen a lot of this congenial marriages. They are bringing a lot of disabilities. So again, in that context, if we look at these closed marriages, I mean, closed within the family, I don't know, maybe with this respect, maybe our medical fraternity might take up some studies on that and come out with some research, so that we can substantiate whether it can be recommended or it can be followed, or it can be, stopped or something like that. Because unless and until we have any substantial evidence or substantial research or evidence-based research, we cannot talk anything officially. So maybe that is a good research gap that has been identified. Maybe that is there. So research scholars or any researchers can take up those studies and come up with research findings, so that we can see, like congenial marriages, where now has been pointed out with certain, medical implications. So maybe with these also we can stop, or if there is some problem, some kind of implications that are bounded, and we can look into those aspects also. So yeah, it was really a wonderful point added. And thank you everyone for actively participating, and feedback link has been shared in the chat box. Fill the feedback form to receive your certificate. And as informed, we have also taken a decision that like many of our earlier participants were unable to fill the feedback. So it was decided that even in spite of not filling feedback also, we are getting attendance from Zoom session, Zoom app. So we are planning to issue certificates also. But if you fill the feedback form, that would be much better, as we can understand. how the sessions went well. So thank you, everyone. Kindly fill up the feedback form before leaving the webinar. Dear participants, quickly fill up the feedback form. The link has been shared in chat box.